So it's an elimination game. It's scoreless. The Blue Jays turn things over to the analytics. And just like that, the season's done. How should management have handled this? Here's former NHL general manager Craig Budd to discuss. Craig, the debate of analytics versus the eye test is a big part of hockey as well. How much is too much when it comes to relying on the numbers alone?
Well, I think relying on anything just as a standalone is not the way to get to giving yourself the opportunity to make the best decision available to you at any particular moment in time. You know, I look at it as tools, and in your toolbox, you have any number of tools that you can use to try to give yourself that opportunity. You know, watching, seeing what you see visually, and then looking at the data and understanding what the data tells you. Well, that's more data. And I don't think anybody would argue that more data is preferable over less data, which gives you a better chance to make a decision with a better outcome. That's what you have to get to. It's collaborative, Gino. It's collaborative. This isn't about one or the other. And if it's not collaborative, you're going to run into all kinds of problems where you just rely on one rather than the other. I'll give you just a quick analogy. Sure. In a toolbox with a hammer and a saw, okay, they're both really good tools, and you can use them really well for what they're intended for. But you can take a 2x4 and break it with a hammer. There's a better way to do it. Use the saw to cut it in half. And same thing, you can use the saw to try to put a nail into a board, but the hammer's going to work way better. So understanding that you have the tools, but then understanding how and when to use them and what gives you the best opportunity to use that tool under the circumstances is going to allow you to give yourself the best opportunity to get an outcome that you desire.
But aren't we introducing right now second guessing of yourself? I mean, forget the fact that we're all second guessing the way the Blue Jay scenario played out, but of yourself. So you're sitting there watching somebody perform out there on a baseball diamond or out in the hockey rink, and you say, statistically speaking, I expect the following is about to happen, and it makes you think, maybe I shouldn't put this guy out in the power play, even though he's really, really hot tonight, but I should. Is that not a big concern that you're second guessing yourself when the analytics guy beside you is telling you, hey, what about this?
Bill James, who is considered the father of sabermetrics, the first sabermetrician, and did a lot of work in initial days of data analysis in baseball, was part of the Boston Red Sox organization when they won their first World Series in any number of years. The manager was Terry Francona. Tons of playing experience, tons of managerial experience. This is what Bill said about Terry. He said, he is armed fully with the data. He's armed fully with his playing experience and his managerial experience. He goes, I trust that he is going to make the decisions based on the knowledge of all that data combined. I might choose a different way to do it, but I know that Terry Francona is fully armed to make that best decision. I think that's the way it's got to work. I don't think it's about second guessing yourself or second guessing somebody else. I think it's about understanding how you're going to use the data and then trusting them. Not every decision is going to turn out the way you intended it to. Second guessing has existed from the beginning of time. It's not going to end now just because there's analytics there. But if you want analytics to work really effectively to give you another tool, significantly more data to make better decisions, you better embrace it and understand it, and that's everybody working collaboratively.
We first heard the term Corsi analytics over 15 years ago. It was controversial then, and while the types and names of stats have evolved, the controversy is still alive and well.